Watch this!
Let the hunt begin for Doomhammer.
I also like Safeguard a lot. I think it's actually pretty weak in the Mil N'Zoth. I mean, it gets a lot better when you're playing Ziliax, right? Do I keep Eurekas in this game? No, I probably want healing because it's likely to be Mech Hunter. And I likely want the Devolve. Devolve is really good into Mech Hunter, as is Hex. So we just curve into the Muckmorpher and call it a day. How does Safeguard stack up in comparison to Belcher? It saves you a little bit of health on the back end of it, because like the Belcher token only having 2 health is a pretty big thing. That like allows smaller minions to trade into it, whereas the Safeguard having, what is it, 5 health, so effectively heals for 10. I think it's pretty reasonable. Sometimes it heals for more because you don't always have the attacks that line up perfectly into it, and that's why I think it maybe has a slight edge over Apple Bomb in some decks. Obviously I ran them both in the Mil N'Zoth, but that's a good point, John, is that you can't play it ×2 with Valera up, so that is a consideration. It's not something that I ran into when I was playing it, but I was also just like, I was just testing it. I'm not sure if it's necessarily better. A 3-mana Safeguard seems really good though. It's a matter of whether I play it next turn or if I want to like try and get greedy with the Reincarnate on it. This looks like it might need to be a Devolve turn though. We're starting to roll into the turns where like Magnetic becomes a real concern. And unfortunately we gave the opponent a mech anyway, but I think it was still probably worth the Devolve there. It also turned off the Metal Tooth Leaper. Okay. So this is pretty likely to get a defensive minion, right?
Job's done.
Wow. Belcher's 5 mana, I can't really compare it with Belcher. I think you absolutely can, because it's just because it has a different mana cost, it serves like the same purpose in your deck, right? So I think it's absolutely a fair comparison. That's a pretty good pull. So I probably need to hex that, right? After I reincarnate the walking fountain. Would White Eyes fit in this deck? I considered it, yeah. I think it might be okay. I guess I'm not reincarnating this turn, because I just don't need to, because the rest of my turn is so good. We're not winning through fatigue, so like there's no reason to go ham on burning cards from the opponent's deck. I don't even know or care what we hit. Like, this wins us the game, not fatigue. As well as these rather large minions that are in our deck. Have I tried hexing face? Good advice. So I've got 2 turns here. I can safeguard, like smash this in twice, and could you not interrupt me when I'm trying to explain something?
The light shall bring victory for Doomhammer.
I am running Muckmorpher. It's like a more fair Barnes, right? I'm gonna keep the Hex, assuming this is Big Priest. Speaking of Barnes, we wanna cheat out an early Sylvanas, so maybe this Muckmorpher is a Sylvanas, and that would be pretty cool. Yeah, this is I built this from scratch. It kind of like borrows from the old Sippy-Wee Reincarnate Shaman from like old Wild days, but so that's where it got its start, and then I just kind of shoved in the Muckmorphers and some new cards. The walking fountains have been just absolutely insane. Probably not so much in this matchup, and the safeguards are going to be really bad in this matchup, but I was getting just absolutely annihilated by aggro, so I wanted to do something to try and change that. And apparently that something is just draw all of my minions. But at least we get Muckmorpher. Oh no! You were supposed to be the chosen one. What have you done? Hey, Jellycat, thank you for that sub with Twitch Prime. That is 16 months in a row. That blows my mind still. Thank you so much for that support. That's a long time to be remembering to manually hit that button, so thank you. Welcome, Jellycat. Hello, friendo to you as well. Oh good, we drew a safeguard at least. Because I don't actually want to summon that with the Muckmorpher. I don't want to kill that. No, because then he just gets to do like a whole bunch of nonsense with like Shadow Essence. Like if that's dead, he can resurrect it multiple times. Nah. I could even hex that if I really wanted to. That seems irresponsible given the size of the minions that are coming out of his deck later. Alright, give me Yashura. Let me show this guy how to big. Oh, yeah. That makes up for the low roll earlier. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're doing it, chat. Just don't have a light bomb. I have like 6 different shaman lists in wild now. We need more deck slots. I agree. Yeah, good luck with this, nerd. I shouldn't taunt him. Light bomb is a card that he might have. I don't think I want to play into Psychic Scream too much. I'm doing 15 this turn. I'm probably pulling out an additional 8 or 4 damage. No, we're at least pulling out 8. Wow. Yeah, I'm not playing any cards because I'm not even hero powering because Psychic Scream is a card. I am gonna trade that off so that it's one less card I get screamed. I could even hex Maelstrom Portal that this turn, and that means that like only Hex is in his res pool. And because the problem is that nah, I've got that turn later. I'm gonna hang out. Force him to scream this back in. Because it still sets up lethal through anything but Psychic Scream, so Psychic Scream is his only play here. I might as well play around that specific card. Okay. We can get a Lich King card for lethal and it'll be fine. Farsight into Farsight. Farception. Okay, I'm just gonna hang on to that. So yes, I would have lethal here if I had played any minion, but I don't think it was worth. I think it was still the correct line to hold back. We're only going to pull a walk-in fountain here. I don't need to commit anymore. Hex Vargoth? I don't think hexing of Vargoth is that valuable, right? Even though I've got double hex, like, yeah, we should have lethal here. It's not enough for Scream, so yeah, it's just game.
Tonight, a tale of terrible tragedy. Behold!
I mean, I guess a statue could have done some scary. Nah. Like, he would have had to get, like, double statue or something. It would have healed for 10. There's no way I wasn't getting that through.